Yo, what it do? This is, in fact, your boy White Rice, and thank you for tuning back in to That's All Folks Lyric Breakdown. We are now on Section 11. Just got through with Section 10, one of my favorite sections in this whole song. I think it carries one of the most important messages in all of this, which is, again, if you with me, say it with me. 1, 2, fuck you, Donald Trump. I do not like saying his name, but I had to get that off one more time. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, man, I knew going into this next section, I needed to challenge myself to continue that kind of vibe, be aggressive, be direct, especially with the tone of the song kind of changing with that section. So let's get right into it. And as you saw, man, I switched my fit. I've been wearing fuck racism, and especially that shirt primarily through the first half, especially in that last section, to reiterate that point. Fuck white supremacy, fuck racism, and all the shit that goes along with it. But as we move into this last section, man, another one of my big topics I especially in the song with is please go out and vote. Make your voice heard. I switched to this shirt. It's a bunch of hands of all different colors and creeds spelling out the words vote, which I think is a very powerful message because the power is in our hands. It is in our hands, not the politicians' hands. The power is in our hands, and our hands have the power to go vote. So please go vote. Please, please, please. With that said, man, let's get into this section. Let's go.
Vivid descriptions and classified missions made public, turning wars to movies to profit. So sue me for not buying into the violence and subliminal propaganda. We still do, we need some better fucking options. Can I get you some G's for that fucking whining? Seems like everything offends everyone. Can't even say I'm a straight guy that like fucking hot women without pissing off at least 2 groups of people in the common night.
Okay. So yeah, man, we came into that section. Really, I say we, I mean me. Came into that section really just with the thought process of staying aggressive, staying direct, and making sure that my message is very clear about what I'm talking about, especially coming off that fuck 45 section. I wanted everything to continue to be more direct. So obviously I wrote down a list of like 20, 30 things that really just like bug me, man, just like internally bug me. So like I wrote down a bunch of different things, and so, I wrote war down. And then as I started breaking down what more or less offended me about war is actually the profiting off of war. It's the people like gun runners and military contractors and all these people who actually profit off of war and rally for wars to happen. But then afterwards, it's the people who run executive studios and production companies who profit off of creating this subliminal propaganda, because we know America's not always in the right. We have killed innocent people. We have killed innocent people. We have bombed people who weren't really who they were supposed to be. Whoop-de-whoop, whatever the fuck. Like, we have done shady ass shit. But our country, we're not allowed to be out here doing like actual propaganda. But you know what? These movies, these TV shows, America's always God sends angel. Even if we bend the rules a little bit, it's always for the greater good. But you know what? We always depict the nations outside Russia, China, Cuba, North Korea, the Middle East, London. Like, we always come up with these characters who like are in other countries that for some reason, like, even if they're like on a righteous path, they're the bad guy. Even if they're trying to bend the rules, do the same shit that the protagonist is doing, like it's always fucked, man. And then like there are actual like war stories that have become whatever the fuck they call it. They take out all the black shit and you can actually read it. Like they make it unsecret. And we're making 500 million, 600 million, 700 million worldwide off of this war movie. And I understand, like, I have full and honest respect for military personnel, but it's not the military personnel laying their life on the line that decide whether to go to war or not. It's the people sitting behind a desk who do not have to put their life on the line. So don't get that twisted. I have utter respect. I have complete respect for people laying their life on the line every single day. I do not have respect for the people who go to war for the wrong reason. And so that's what I'm talking about, man. There's people out here profiting, especially on that, and then, basically creating subliminal propaganda, because we're never in the wrong as America. We're always in the right. They don't show the parts that are actually kind of bad, that paint us in a bad light, because that's the way it works. You ain't gonna get Americans to rally around a movie that showcase how fucking poor we look. And that's kind of what ties into how I end the song. You don't want to look in the mirror. But yeah, with that, so I like kind of continued along that line. I kind of wanted to do some wordplay. Can I give you some cheese for that? Wine and, but it sounds like whining. That way I can move to my next part of seems like everything offends everyone, because you're whining about, you're whining because you're complaining. And so I wanted to make a very direct statement on that. So I was like, the most obvious thing about me, I'm a straight man who likes fucking hot women, and I can't do that without pissing off two groups of people in a convent of nuns. Now, obviously, I don't have any two groups of people. I just literally did syllable play. That's it. I was just looking for the number that would allow me to do the syllable play there. I could have said 10, whatever would have been a one syllable input there. But, obviously nuns, kind of the over the top statement, like a very clear statement since they sworn off sex. But more or less what I'm not speaking to is actually from the straight male perspective. It's actually speaking from the perspective of the LGBTQ plus community. It's speaking on the behalf of women everywhere fighting to uphold Roe v. Wade. Why is it people's rights and people's choices and people being who they are the way that they were born is so offensive to other people? That's not your life. That's not your fucking problem, fam. You were born as a straight man or a straight woman, so why the fuck? Do your thing. You fuck your partner. Why are you worried about other people? Why? Why are you so offended about walking into a Kroger or a Publix and seeing two men holding hands? Why are you so offended about going out on your date night and you see a beautiful couple out there on their date night and you see two women kissing and you get all offensive and want to fucking go over there and like say some shit? That's not your fucking place. Stay in your place. If that's not your lane, that's not your lane. You weren't born to be in that lane, so stay the fuck out of it. That's what I'm speaking to on this, man. It's not even about, it's kind of the reverse of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, be offended about the right shit. Be offended about white supremacists. Be offended about murderers. Be offended about rapists. Be offended about the right fucking things in life. Be offended about people's choices that are truly in the wrong. Not about somebody having a kid or not. In the early stages of their pregnancy, deciding whether they're ready or not. That is their body and their choice. That's not your fucking choice to overturn. So if that shit gets, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's what that section's about. Obviously war, propaganda, people feeling like they need to be offended by everything, especially even people just being who they are. So please continue to be who you are. Don't let people being offended about who you are change who you are. Unless who you are is a fucking white supremacist or a sexist, a bigotist, whatever the fuck kind of ist you are that is a negative, then people do have the right to be offended by you. Because you're kind of an ass. With that said, man, that wraps up this section. Cannot wait to move on to the next section. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for streaming, fam. And thank you for tuning in to these lyric breakdowns. Until next time, keep streaming that up, man. And if you haven't already, swing over to SoundCloud to hear that exclusive, one of a fucking kind work by my boy Kangaroo on the Looney Tunes cut of That's All, Folks. Peace out.